It's Richard here from Intelligent Advisor IT Consulting with another in our long-running series about the example projects. As you know, in 2024 we started reviewing the example decision service projects, which brings us once again today to the list of example decision services and the decision service we're going to be looking at today, which is called Insurance Picker Premiums. So this is a eligibility calculation, or I should say a premium calculation, since we're talking about insurance policies. As the description suggests, you could invoke this from a policy model multiple times, and we'll look at how you reference a decision service from a policy model a little bit later in this video. For now, though, I'm going to simply download the JSON file. I'm going to put it on in my downloads folder. Now that we've downloaded the file, we can go to the dashboard of our Intelligent Advisor Hub, go to the Projects tab, click the Actions button, and click Import. If you're going to be playing with them, I suggest that you always give them a prefix so that you can spot which one is yours and which one is which, and also put them in a dedicated workspace so you don't get in the way of anybody else. So let's import this and see what the Insurance Picker Premium has to tell us. So let's first of all look at the contract. We can see that in terms of inputs, there are 3 required inputs. The basic insurance product, so what is it you're buying? The calculation date, so from when should this insurance product be available? And there are errors, level of extra cover. Extras cover, so you might opt for a basic product plus some extras, and needless to say that probably will have an impact on the price that you pay. In terms of outputs, we have the total annual premium, which kind of makes sense, is that what you want to know is how much am I actually going to pay. So now that we've seen the basic input and output, let's look at the rules. So we have a single rule block calculated once per case, so each time we call the decision service. So we have the total annual premium equals the basic premium amount plus the amount for extras. And then we see our other input value, which was the calculation date. So depending on the date and depending on the basic insurance product, this calculates the basic premium amount. Then underneath, depending on the level of extras that you chose, there will be an extra amount for the extras, which returns us to this, which creates the final figure, the basic premium plus the amount for extras. If we choose live mode, we can play with it ourselves. So the insurance product we want is couples. Let's say couples. The calculation date, let's say that it's in 2024, 11/29. And the level of extras cover we want is premium. So we can see that we will pay $150 more for our extras than the basic price, which is couples, $990. So we will pay $990 plus $150, which is equal to $1,140, as our little live mode pop-ups will show. So let's go ahead and commit this. So we're committing it because if you want to use it in an Oracle Policy Modeling project, you need to have committed it at least once. Or, of course, you could deploy it, but committing it is the absolute minimum. And we will create a Insurance Picker Premium demonstration project. And we will create a new entity called the person, nice and generic. And what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the same basic inputs as we saw in the decision service to the person entity. Never do this live. Product, and this is text. And we'll call this PER prod. Don't need to do all of this, but I'm just doing it for completeness' sake. The person's calculation date, and we'll do that as PER date. And finally, we'll do the person's level of extra cover, and that will be a text again, and we'll call this PER extra. Okay, so now we have the 3 inputs, and the output, you will recall, is the total annual premium. So we'll put one in here for the person's total annual premium, and it's a number, and we'll do PER premium. There we go. So now we have modeled the same basic structure, not in the global entity as we might have done in a basic demo, but we're going to do it against an entity, in this case, the person. Good. So now what we'll do is we'll create a little screen here, call this the person data, and we'll create persons, and we'll add the person, their basic insurance product, the calculation date, the total annual premium, basically the attributes that we just spoke about. Let's make that as big as possible. We'll change this to tabular. We'll change some of these because they're a bit long. Basic product, calculation date, extras, and premium. Okay. And just to be complete, we'll go back here, and the basic insurance is single, couple, singles with kids, couple with kids. So why don't we just do a drop down, and we'll do singles, couples, singles with kids, couples with kids. Just make sure that I haven't spelt those wrong. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. So now we have our little, and we'll convert it to a value list. This is basic products. And we'll do the same for extras, just to be complete. The extras were premium, special, basic, and no. So premium, special, basic, and no. And that's extras level. Okay. And why don't we set a default value here to no extras? It's not very commercially sensible, but hey. And finally, because I don't like this sort of thing, we'll go back to the relationship text that's called all instances of the person, and we'll just call it the people. And we'll say add new person. And the interview complete page, we'll pull this off and say something simple like, thank you for visiting our premium calculator. And we make sure that our screen is always displayed. Fine, so now we have the setup. We can go to the Rules tab, we can click New Reference, and we can go ahead and log into our hub to get the decision service. And in our case, we need to make sure that because we have set it up to work against the entity called the person, that we switch it to for each of the person. And now we can begin mapping to the attributes we created just a few minutes ago. So the person's basic insurance product, the person's calculation date, the person's level of extra cover, and the person's total annual premium. So now we have a successful mapping at the person entity level. Let's go ahead and debug. And of course, first job will be to add a person. So I'm going to add Richard. Richard is singles. Notice the extras defaulted to no like we asked. He's going to go for special. And the calculation date will be the 1st of November. And the premium is 760. Singles and specials on a date in 2024. So 660 plus 100 equals 760. Let's go for somebody else and set. Let's choose the same date just to make this a little easier to compare. And basic. So couples basic, 1040. Basic is a 50. Couples is 990, 1040. So we've seen in this demo how to import and set up a decision service, and then also, of course, we've seen how we can map it into Oracle policy modeling against an entity and use a decision service reference to pull different values for different instances. Hope you enjoyed it. See you for the next one.